Was Path of Exile Mobile just a meme, or were they actually anticipating of bringing out this game? It was announced 3 years ago, and since then we've heard crickets. Literally nothing has been said about the game besides a few YouTubers making discussion points about something that we really don't have anything but a little bit of footage of from 3 years ago. Now, I ask if it was a meme because we all remember the Diablo Immortal announcement. It was kind of butchered, it didn't go well. Here, a little reminder for you.
This is strictly mobile forever.
Are there any, the current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones. Right?
All right, things couldn't have started any worse for Diablo Immortal, and then 1 year later from that date, we had Grinding Gears announce Path of Exile Mobile, and it was done in a very different way. They kind of joked about the mobile gaming market.
So mobile games are kind of bullshit, right? You know, pay to win microtransactions, time gates, energy bars, random nag screens, notifications, video ads, you get the idea. There's really a lot of evil garbage going on in mobile games today.
So when we all heard the announcement of Path of Exile Mobile, we were all excited because we like action RPGs. We love Diablo, we like Path of Exile, and really having healthy competition, whether it be on PC or on mobile, it's a very positive thing. So we need to welcome that, as I still do to this day. But as I mentioned, this was 3 years ago, and we've heard absolutely nothing from Grinding Gear Games about Path of Exile Mobile. Now, we give Diablo Immortal a hard time for how long it took for the game to come out and how quiet they were, but Path of Exile Mobile is even worse. It's taking longer with less to be said, but they didn't have that botched announcement. It didn't start out really poorly the way things did for Diablo Immortal. Now, there's a few things that were announced and mentioned in the announcement from Grinding Gear Games about how they're developing the game, and the first thing that they mentioned was how they didn't farm out the development.
We wanted to make something that is a real Path of Exile game. We didn't just farm it out to an external studio. It's developed entirely by a team here in New Zealand.
Now, this is massive. Not having to have an external studio do something for you and then you bring it in and kind of make it your own, which is what Blizzard did, it makes sense. Now, we could argue that Blizzard did that because they don't have the experience with mobile games, and NetEase does, so they wanted to work together and try and make a good synergy of what they both do best. I think they did a pretty good job. The issue with that is, of course, yes, we all know the microtransactions that come along with the game, with Diablo Immortal being one of the heaviest pay-to-win games ever on mobile. Now, Path of Exile, the standard one on PC, it doesn't have those elements. You literally could pay for some storage or some, cosmetic stuff, which you would anticipate would convert over to the mobile market, but that could be very untrue. Also remember, Path of Exile on PC is also a free-to-play game, so the only way it makes money is from microtransactions that are inside of the game. The issue here is, or the non-issue, is that they don't have you spend money on anything that'll make you stronger than your fellow player. Something else that they really acknowledged was the shorter play sessions. Here, let's play that real quick.
The only thing that's fundamentally different between phone games and PC games is that you expect to play for shorter game sessions on a phone. Maps are a perfect length to have the quick turnaround time required for mobile gameplay while retaining all of the deep systems that Path of Exile players expect.
Now, I really like this because it's acknowledging the audience that's going to be playing the game. And this is some of the gripes I've had lately about Diablo Immortal, is that it's a PC game on mobile, but it wasn't really made for the audience. It wasn't really made for mobile gamers. It was made for people that are PC gamers that may be playing on mobile, but it doesn't really help out or really move itself towards the mobile gaming community, which is one of the downfalls of Diablo Immortal. I still think DI is an amazing game built well. I don't love everything about it, of course, but I think it is a really nice piece of art. Now, with that being said, I don't think they acknowledge the audience well on the short, quick sessions where you can get in and play something quickly, get off, and have those 5-minute sessions that many mobile gamers like myself do. It was nice to hear Grinding Gear Games acknowledge that in the announcement and say, this is what they're making it for. They know that mobile gamers like the short gameplay sessions, and who knows, maybe that's what it could turn into being, if it ever comes. Because again, is it ever coming, or was it just a meme?
Back then, we really felt like we could do free-to-play on PC without all that player hostile stuff. So we thought, maybe we can do the same thing on mobile. Maybe we can make a game that bucks all those bullshit trends and make it something that's a good game first, that just so happens to be played on a phone.
And the last point that they made that I really vibed with was they talked about how on PC, being a free-to-play game and having transactions inside of the game, when the gear launched years back, it was kind of taboo. People were like, what? The game is free and I have to pay for things inside of the game rather than just paying 60 bucks for the game. It wasn't as much of a norm as it is today. So I think that the Path of Exile model converts well to mobile, being that they're both free to play and they both can make their money the same way that they do from the PC client, well, the same way that they would on the mobile device as well. Now, another thing I wonder, Path of Exile 2, could that actually be Path of Exile mobile with a mobile and a PC client? Now, clearly from the announcement, there was a game client that they were playing. They were playing something that was being developed. Now, it could have been something very small, but this had started. It had begun its development. I mean, the proof was right there in front of us. But the question is, did development continue? Did they see the success of Diablo Immortal, or lack of success, depending on how you look at the game, and say, you know what, we're just gonna kind of ditch this. I don't know if action RPGs can be that big or big enough on mobile to make it worth our while. Remember, we need to keep in mind, they are also a very small development studio compared to Blizzard. But with that being said, Blizzard allocates only a very small number of development part of their team to Diablo Immortal. So hence the long time it takes, while Diablo 4 is coming much more quickly than Diablo Immortal did, assuming that they weren't working on it for years in the background that we never knew about. So I ask you, do you think that Path of Exile Mobile is actually coming? And if it is coming, do you think it's going to be Path of Exile 2 with a mobile client as well, or its own standalone game? I'm excited for it. If it does come, I will 100% play it, whether it's Path of Exile 2 or Path of Exile Mobile, or a combination of the both. I actually don't believe it was just a meme, but you never know. It could have been the plan, and then plans kind of, you know, eroded, turned into nothing, turned into dust, and blew away. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow discussing more of the intricacies of the ARPG genre on mobile, PC, and everywhere.